Welcome to Sports Scope, the most influential sports talk show in the nation.
What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler. On this 6th day of September, we've got another NFL game on tonight. Probably won't see it because it's on Peacock, but we'll be following that. I'll follow it play by play and some of the videos and whatnot of the biggest plays in that particular game. Got the Mad New Yorker behind stage. We'll talk about last night's game. Great game, great finish there. Great finish there in the Ravens game. Also, we'll recap last week. A lot of exciting college games. And, of course, we'll go over the biggest games in both the NFL and college football here in just a few minutes here. But stand by. Let's get our first and only break out of the way. We'll be back here after a few messages, and we'll hit the ground running here on the Real Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program.
I'm Mac, CEO of National Streaming Sports and host of the Mac and Jack Sports Show. You're watching the sharp-dressed man and the big story breaker, Robert Butler, on Sports Scope, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on National Streaming Sports. Thanks. To get the National Streaming Sports channel on your Roku TV, channel search National Streaming Sports. There's the channel search in Roku. There's our logo right on the right, NESSP. Tap on the logo, and it will add to your TV, the channel to your TV. On your laptop, tablet, and mobile phone, download the free Roku app and channel search just like above. If you don't have Roku TV, you have to order a Roku device from the Roku store, hook it up to your smart TV, and bang, you have Roku TV. Again, channel search, National Streaming Sports, click on our NESSP logo, and add the channel. National Streaming Sports is brought to you in part by BetUs.com, designed for true fans. NFL odds, Week 1 and futures, college football odds, including Heisman Trophy favorites and playoff odds, NBA odds of division winners and playoffs, Major League Baseball playoff and World Series odds, the National Hockey League Conference playoffs and Stanley Cup odds, and boxing wagers. Betting opportunities include versus the spreads and outright winners, also during the game. Use our link on our website, nessp.info, the Bet Us Opportunities webpage, for a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Must be 21 years old, and remember, bet responsibly.
All righty then. Didn't mean to clog everybody up here with the, hey, Ralph Williams, you did show up. Sometimes my Facebook doesn't show up here for whatever reason. I'm glad to see that it's working today. You just never know what you're going to get out of Facebook. It's like a box of chocolates, like the great Forrest Gump would say. Mad New Yorkers here. Man, I got to ask you, man, what'd you think about that game last night? I tell you, what a great way to start the NFL season, a last-minute play like that. Kind of reminded me of the Super Bowl against the Titans and the Rams almost 25 years ago now.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday, Mr.
Happy
Robinson.
Friday.
Thanks for stopping by. Listen, wow, what a way to open the season. Finally, a good game
Right.
on a Thursday night. And now we got one tonight coming up. Let's just say that was probably one of the best first games in a while, right? Because it wasn't a blowout.
Well, Detroit, I thought Detroit was good against Kansas City last year. It was like a 1-point game, if you recall.
Yeah, but it was. This one was, it was a better quarterback battle. It was a better defensive battle. Like,
that crowd was into it, wasn't it?
Yeah, the crowd was into it.
You could really hear it, man.
I was just kind of like taken aback because I felt like every time each team had the ball, they were rushing too much. But it's the first game, so you got to see a lot of these guys step up, and that's good for the first game because sometimes in first games, these starters they call it quits after the third quarter, but these guys were battling out. So I like that about this game is that the guys came out to play and they battled out, and it was a good game, right? It was a good game.
What's your thoughts on Lamar Jackson going with the lighter look this year? He's probably lost 10 pounds. He said that was purposely to help him with his speed. What's your thoughts on that?
You could see it on the field. You could definitely see him.
He looked like he was in Madden, and you hit the turbo button.
He kind of looked like Michael Vick with the,
yeah, he did.
He did.
I just hope he doesn't run headfirst into trying to get far. He was doing that in the fourth quarter. I know he was getting involved in the game, and if I see that in the film room, I'll point that out. Hey, man, you can't survive that. You're going to get injured running like that, especially with the lighter self of you.
Yeah, and it was weird because he had the quickness. He was light on his foot, and the two running backs looked like they were lead-footed, and every time they turned a corner. Yeah, they just couldn't get up to speed. Even Henry looked a little bit slow. I don't know if he's coming back from an injury. I don't know if he's just trying to.
Well, he did get that touchdown. Certain runs are not good for him. His normal run off a guard or off tackle, you would think in Tennessee he had some really good runs there. But they've replaced 3 offensive linemen, and you could tell. But when he's running out of the shotgun, unlike I do not like to see him doing, actually, ironically, he was doing good because he was running at an angle. But I was surprised.
Yeah, it took him a while to get to that point.
Yes,
You know what? We're not getting you. You're getting 2 or 3 yards of carry. Let's move you into shotgun position. I didn't see him go out, and they didn't use him as a receiver much, which I think they could have used him better as a receiver and even gave Zay Flowers more of an opportunity. Zay Flowers did a pretty decent job last night.
Yeah.
And he didn't lose his wits about him, and I'm hoping to see good things coming from him. So all in all, like I said, I was all right with it. I don't root for either of those teams, but it was a good football team. It was interesting the whole way through, which sometimes Thursday night games get lost. You get lost in the shuffle in the second quarter. But Justin Tucker missing the field goal, bro.
Yeah.
Woo!
That kind of got underplayed,
I believe that is totally
underplayed. He's the highest paid, and quite frankly, he's one of the most consistent long ball hitters I've ever seen from 45, 50 plus yards out,
Yeah, and then when I saw him take the second one, I was like, this guy better make this one, or we're gonna be questioning his.
Maybe he's lost his confidence, or something.
Yeah. So I'm glad he did better, but they left a few points. I think I had the Ravens winning this game by 14 points, and they left. I feel like they left those points off on the field between making a few bad calls in the beginning of the game and at the end of the game not getting those calls that they needed. So, the Chiefs won. They won at home. They should win at home. They're the championship team. And again, a good game. Like that's a good way to open the season, to be honest with you.
Yes. And the flip side, Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, you were talking about Detroit.
Go ahead.
About Detroit last year, but nobody was expecting even Detroit to be in the playoff except for Detroit fans, right? So here, everybody's talking. There's a lot of people, and we'll talk about this later. A lot of people choosing the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl this year. Like a lot, they're like in the top 5 for.
I don't know, losing those linemen like that.
But so just like I like the game. I'm hoping everybody plugs in for tonight's game. When they get a chance and good start to the season. I applaud the NFL for doing this match.
Yeah. I tell you, I haven't commented on the game because I was on the program last night. But Xavier Worthy, man, he's really lived up to his billing. It's just one game. The speedster for Kansas City kind of reminds me of a better version of Deshaun Jackson that used to play with the Eagles. He's built small like that, and there's a little bit of Tyreek Hill there. That guy's dangerous, man. He really got away in a hurry there on that one play where Mahomes saw him open. Really pleasantly surprised that he would be acclimated that quickly to the pro game. 2 touchdowns against a pretty good secondary there in Baltimore. Ran past him like a hot knife through butter, like the guy was sitting in quicksand that was supposedly supposed to guard him. Mahomes does his thing, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot of plays where you think, okay, Mahomes is about to get sacked.
Right.
Then he shifts, and then he hits Worthy. I mean, he is like a cheat code sometimes, man. I'm still at awe with Mahomes. I know that they won 2 Super Bowls. People are tired of talking about him, but you get tired. We were tired of talking about Brady, but I still respected how Brady handled those big game situations, and he never rested on his laurels, man.
I feel like they could,
really good game by Mahomes there.
Yeah, and they can still protect him a little bit more. They just have to run Pacheco a few more carries.
Yes,
he did play a decent game. He had the 3 carries and the 3 yards.
He had some big runs there
and a touchdown. So, but they could definitely protect Mahomes a little more and run Pacheco a little bit more. I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Kansas City fan, but I feel like those times that you're talking about that Mahomes got away, we could be talking about Mahomes being hurt in the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like they need to just bear down and just, keep running the ball a little bit more. Pacheco's not a bad player. I feel like once they threw him the ball and he missed that catch that he kind of got put in the doghouse a little bit for receiving, and they could use him in different ways. But
and a little bit of a quiet game by Rashid Rice. I didn't see anything out of Kels.
Kelsey helped.
Ravens did a good job really defending. It's just they didn't expect Worthy to get away like that.
Right. And Kelsey did his. I think he set up the game in the beginning.
As a decoy.
As a decoy, and then he helped Kansas City just maintain momentum and not fall in and fall flat on their face. Whenever they were trying to build up and get things going in the beginning, in the first half and then the beginning of the second half. So Kelsey was, he didn't disappear, but like you said, he wasn't he wasn't the man that game. But
yeah, okay. Well, let's start with the recap here. Don't want to get too far behind. Got a lot of stuff to cover. Hopefully, get all this food ate. I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving. It's like a holiday weekend for me. It's bigger than the holiday for me. I love the NFL and college. Okay, Clemson.
Oof.
Clemson did not cover. Georgia did cover. Do you want that to count as a win? Do you want to count point spreads, or just count the the ones you picked and not the ones I picked?
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's set it up here now. We count wins and losses and point spreads. You get an extra 1 point.
An extra point?
Yeah, and then so after 2 points, you get a win.
Or maybe it could be like a tiebreaker or something.
Yeah, you can use it as a tiebreaker. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Now, you
like
got that point spread with Clemson and them, and we'll keep it that. So you're +1 then, and then it's +2 for an actual win and loss. Okay, that makes sense. Just remind me next week so I won't get confused. Yeah, I tell you, man, like I said, and put that out in a clip on Monday, I'm more impressed with this level of consistency from Georgia's defense, man.
Wow,
and,
right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, they've had second-ranked defense in the whole country, not just SEC. Last year, second ranked in the whole country the year before, number 1 in 21. They haven't even started this year. Now they got off to a good start. Home
Right.
Clemson to 3 points. With
And-
all this NIL, it's really impressive, man.
And to your point, because I talk a big game sometimes. And I was impressed myself. It's not going to shut me up, but I feel like if they can keep that route, this defense is going to score more than their offense, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Yeah.
all over the place, so it helps their offense.
It seems like they've been overlooked for these last few years.
And I'm not going to lie,
It makes it more impressive that Alabama could put 27 on them.
right. So
You know,
I'm excited. I mean, if you're a Bulldogs fan, you should be excited too. If you're a SEC team, better, don't rest on what you got, man. You got to play these teams out, and it's going to be exciting for Georgia. And I didn't like that game the way it was going. I felt like Clemson didn't have any kind of competitive edge or any will to come back after they went down a few points, and it fizzled out for them quick. So
yeah, it
And
really did. And
it's sad to see because, we talked about it. Dabo Swinney, he didn't go out and do what everybody else was doing, and he
with the NIL and the transfer,
and then now, like I even said, and we mentioned it in the show before last, just to be quick, it was like if he didn't come out to prove that he can win with any kind of guys, this team is not gonna be in the mix, and I don't think they're gonna be. Could they be competitive in the ACC? I hope they are. I don't think they're gonna playoff at all. Not the way they played Georgia like that.
Yeah, and that's a good transition. It looks like that Miami. It's just early, but man, did they look good. And Florida looked that bad. I know they got their quarterback knocked out, but Florida, the Miami just looked great there
Oh my
with
God. Cam,
with our guy there at quarterback there.
yeah, man.
He had a clean pocket you could eat off of. Cam Ward. I mean, he looked like he looked like that. He's checking his watch there. At some points in that game, and in Florida, obviously they knocked Florida's quarterback out of the game, but they were already up big at that point, anyways. What's your thoughts on Miami in Florida?
I'm again.
Is that lopsided?
Again, that defense is good. The fact that their offense balanced their defense is scary because you didn't know who played better that game, their defense or their offense.
Oh, really? You like the defense from Miami?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be. I think it's good for Miami. They're definitely going to be in a mix of in the ACC for sure. So they got everybody's got to watch out for them. These guys look quick, and they're having fun, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
they're having fun, like the old Miami teams.
That's good. And then we'll just keep an eye out for them. That's my little yeah. Hello.
You forgot
watch too much NBA and think I'm Steph Curry for some reason.
He's talking about me.
All right.
Yeah, so it's just one game, like you said. Obviously Florida State looks to be really behind and way out of it. Clemson's already lost the game. Yeah, it's hard to see what. Pat McAfee picked Virginia Tech. They lost to Vanderbilt last Saturday, man.
When you told me that, I was laughing because I haven't heard McAfee for like a few days. And
he's all hot take-ish, ain't he?
Yeah, and I was just like, this guy, because he was dancing and Saban was looking at him all weird.
Win the Big 12.
He's
all Virginia everything, man, and Miami. It's just 1 week, but Miami's already kind of got an edge on everybody.
I mean, look, these Power 5 teams from the past are actually being powerful and showing off their NIL wits about them and their transfer portal pool players. This is the first week. Let's wait till these kids start grinding, start taking tests and not getting enough rest during the week. So we did good. I think we had a lot of games to be excited about.
Yeah.
So we both picked Miami.
Yes. Yes. And I thought, it was still a good game. I mean, a lot of times the score doesn't really implement the game. The game felt closer than what the score, as far as like the speed and stuff on the field. You could tell both of these teams are very athletic, you know?
When Florida's quarterback got knocked out or was taken out of the game,
yeah,
and the kid comes in who's highly touted,
very highly touted.
Everybody was like, "Oh, he's highly touted." You know, he's a. People are excited about it. I'm like, I want to see it, and he ran it. He ran an offense. He's doing his thing. And this kid, kudos to him.
You could see there's talent with him.
The amount of talent he has, like you could see the speed that he works at when he plays. This kid's exciting. I still don't think Florida's going to do well this year, but I think he's going to do well. And he will help Florida get better if Florida can work on recruiting and improving that team for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't think with the change in the coaching that they were going to get that much better. I think they're 2 to 3 years from getting better, but it's the SEC, right? And I feel like if you were to rate them, I don't think Florida's in the top 5.
Yeah, I told you I think they're going to fire Billy Napier.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to be Deion. We'll talk to Deion later, but they're going to go out and get somebody else.
Yeah, so we both picked Miami. So
we both picked Miami. Now Notre Dame, Texas A&M. I thought that was a really good game. Actually stayed up and watched that whole game. It was nip and tuck, man.
You stayed up for that game, huh?
I stayed up for that game because, I wanted to get that edge on you, and I was want to make sure my Notre Dame beat it. You picked A&M. Looked like A&M was going to pull it off at home. I really like that coordinator they've got with Notre Dame, 55-year-old Al Golden. That defense is airtight. Riley Leonard didn't look great, but he made the plays that he needed to at the right time. That's a big, big win. It's hard to win down there in Texas A&M for Notre Dame. That's going to really help them get a leg up in the playoff, pending injuries and stuff. Now, they don't need to go out and lay an egg next Saturday against an inferior opponent now. But I don't know, man. It looked like that the offense run a lot smoother for Notre Dame. And I don't know, Texas A&M, they look clunky all day. And maybe that was causing Notre Dame's defense. What's your thoughts on that game if you got a chance to watch any of it?
A good lead to what I was going to say, but give credit to Notre Dame's defense. Like, yes, their offense scored when they needed to score, but they kept A&M at a 0 in the third quarter. And
yeah,
I mean, if you're A&M and you got all these people that you claim that you got NIL money and you got all these people from the transfer portal, like, where are they? What are these kids doing? What is your plan, and what are you going to do now that you faced a team that's always questionable in the first 3 games that they play in Notre Dame because of the fact that they're not in a conference, right?
Yes.
So and they came out with the best, and they didn't match up at all. For an SEC school, probably one of the only SEC schools that struggled during the game, right? To score, because all the other SEC schools, they at least scored points. This is the first time in 10 or some 15, some 30 years that all SEC teams scored more than 14 points or something, or like some 10 points or something.
Oh, wow.
There's some crazy stat I can't remember. I should have wrote it down, but it's something crazy like that. So, yeah, man, A&M, you gotta play this. You gotta play the next few games.
Oh, that coach was he hot? He's a defensive guy. I thought he may be the guy for A&M. I'm not sure, but I knew Notre Dame was a good team.
Yeah,
I know Notre Dame had,
you can't win.
That young coach has really put himself in position, Marcus Freeman, to be successful. He reminds me so much of Sean McVay, where I thought he was way too young for that job, and he realized his weaknesses in certain areas, and he's not insecure enough to hire another coach in fear of potentially being undermined by that coach. And Al Golden, that guy's 55 years old, that defensive coordinator.
Well, we talk a lot about some of these coaches in college football, but at the end of the day, man, your players got to play. You and you got to score a point. You can't just be kicking. Kicking helps you stay in the game, but kicking can't be your game plan. You can't kick to win. You know what I'm saying? You got to score, and then you kick to stay.
Yeah, that was a couple field goals, and that was a 6-6 game for a while. You know,
what was the over on this? Wasn't it 60?
I don't know if it got hit or not.
No, but who did you?
I just like the fact that it was a struggle early.
Yeah.
And both teams are really, really intense on the defensive side. I don't like those 45, 48. A lot of those games, it seemed like the defenses are just checking out. They're not.
And they're tired. Yeah, they're tired after the third quarter. Yeah. No, you're right. But you won this one straight up.
Yeah, I won that one. And the next one you won. Although I do recall you last week saying that LSU was going to win the SEC, if you don't recall. If you was just pulling something out of your rear end. But then you turned around and picked USC to win Sunday night.
Yeah, I said LSU could. They could win. They could win the SEC if they put if push comes to shove, because they're not.
I had to rewind the tape on that.
Yeah, they one of my.
It's okay, man.
I told you that the SEC. I was saying that the SEC was going to be so bad that a team like LSU could win. That's what I said. Something along those lines.
And by the way, Sunday night I had to work Monday. I haven't had to work Monday on Labor Day in 5 years.
This man,
but
not working,
it was I'm a driver, so the traffic was light. I was cool with it. Got paid pretty good. I was busy all day, but I actually stayed up. That was another really good game. Some of these games never live up to the billing, but USC and LSU, the quarterback play on both sides, especially USC with Lincoln Riley coaching this Miller Moss guy up again. He was throwing ropes out there. And, of course, your guy from LSU, he was no slouch either. But did you hear that post game or hear that clip by Brian Kelly? He looked like the old Brian Kelly from Notre Dame that gets really ticked off.
Yeah.
He said, we're talking about the same thing again. We're acting like the game is over with in the fourth quarter. And he pounds his fist, man, on the desk, and he has this full bottle of water, and it just jumps up and falls down. It's really funny. But USC, the new defensive coordinator, man, they look good, man. I just don't know about depth on defense, but they might mess around and make the playoff. That was a big win for USC.
Big win for USC. Being in Las Vegas helped them a lot.
Yeah,
they got a lot of fan base out there. You know what hurt LSU was the fact that they were trying to match up every time with you. Like you saw it, like they were trying to match it up instead of just going out there and playing their own game. LSU's always, for me, I've always seen them as attacking, night game, they just throwing the heck out of the ball, running the heck out of the ball, just going all out with, speed, and because they usually pick up guys who are fast. And this game, it just looked like they were very pragmatic, very just standoffish. Like they were just looking to see what USC was going to do, and they were going to either match them or try to beat them at their own game. And you can't go in a game like that. I don't know if it's coaching. To be honest with you, it might have something to do with it. What Brian Kelly said, but also like the players have to go out there and play. And it just saw that they were matching up with them. Yeah. It was a good game, but it's like you can't play that game. You got to go over there and just grind it out.
That's a good point. And also, it seemed like they got caught up in their emotions too. LSU, they got two excessive celebration penalties for that's 30 yards, man. As soon as you score a touchdown, you're giving them 15 more yards. Like you just here's your momentum. Here's the momentum back that I just took in this touchdown. And if they both caught up, and that last touchdown where LSU or USC took the lead, it was off of a free play because LSU was offsides. No emotional discipline. Right. No wonder Brian Kelly. I have a theory that Kelly, there was a period there at Notre Dame where everybody thought he was going to get fired because he was just too rugged and just kind of a callous guy, angry, cranky. Recruiting's fallen off, and he kind of went a little bit lighter, kind of like Tom Coughlin when he was with the Giants, lightened up a little bit, being a fun guy. They have some success, catches a second life there. Then he goes to LSU. He's trying to do the Baton Rouge accent. He's being Mr., smiley, nice guy. Like now it seems like the players are kind of resting on their laurels. They've lost every opener since he's been there. I misspoke last week. They did not beat Florida State. Florida State beat them twice. And then they turned around and lost to USC. I should have picked USC last week. I bleeped that up. I bleeped that up. So, I think he'll tighten it up and go back to the old Brian Kelly. Will the real Brian Kelly please stand up?
Right, and that's the two SEC teams that kind of like were just in the game but not in the game would be LSU and A&M, right? So
yeah, that's true. That's the two losses of the week. I think everybody else won.
Right.
Tennessee won big, and then Ole Miss saw what Tennessee scored, and they said, okay, they put 69. We got to put 72 up on Furman,
I wouldn't want to be those smaller teams because now you're just a punching bag.
Furman, yeah. And Chattanooga, I didn't think Chattanooga was that bad. And Tennessee rolled them, and
Akron getting beat by Ohio State. And
yeah. But anyways, that was a good win. So you're up by half a point because of the point spread thing or whatever you want to call it.
It's just a tiebreaker. It's just a tie.
Yeah, we'll make it a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Don't
get it twisted.
The points there gets the spread can be crazy. I'm really into wins and losses, and we disagree enough where it probably won't be a factor down the stretch, anyways.
Yeah. Plus, it's the first week, and in the competition.
You could really go ahead of me this week because I am picking some upsets, man, in this week's slate of games there.
All right, so the last game was the first game that we talked about. Remember, I said that FSU was going to win, and they botched that up.
I didn't even penalize you for that because I didn't really put that on Boston College. I just assumed they were going to beat Boston College. Here's my theory on that.
Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah. Well, I agreed with you. So we both lost that game. I didn't pick Georgia Tech.
You didn't? So that was even. So both of us.
That's nothing. Yeah.
But we did. But I have Florida State on a championship series. So what I'm going to say about.
But I wouldn't use that. I'm not going to use that against you.
No. But I do want to say that they need to. The same thing that happened last season. For this year or for this new season is what they have to do is they got to finish out the games. There's no lack of talent on the team. There's no lack of
Well, it's that quarterback. You got to move off that guy, man. Even if you
got to finish. You got to finish, man. And for all those people that were upset about them not making it to a bowl game and this and that, like
playoff last year.
Yeah. So that's one of those things that they lacked in the last 3 to 4 games of the season you got to finish strong.
Well, they got demolished by Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Boston College and they lost to Georgia Tech. The two in the regular season are different because this DJ guy, I think my theory on that is they brought him in on some kind of NIL deal. And I think, what's his name? Mike Norrell, the coach there, Norrell. I think that he is obligated to play this guy and give him as much room as he can to keep him on the field through some kind of NIL company that's working with Florida State. He's not going to say that publicly, but why don't you pull him in that? You're getting destroyed by Boston College. That was down in Tallahassee. They beat them in their own backyard on Monday night. It wasn't that interesting a game. I didn't hardly watch it, but I just looked at the box score and I just looked at the fact that DJ was not benched in that game.
Right.
And they lost by, what is it, like 28-13? That was unacceptable. That's great. Mike Norvell, I mean, do you want to get fired?
I know that. And
I would love that Florida State job.
That's 2 games already, man. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, it's going to be a long shot for them to get in the playoff at this point. You know, they're probably already shot on the ACC. They've already got 2 conference losses.
2 conference losses.
So
anyway. I don't know. I had them, man. I had them. I have high hopes for them still. This is going to be a long season. This is probably going to be the first time because of the 12 team. You're going to see a 4 or 5 team sneak in because of
4 or 5 lost team.
Yeah, because of schedule. At least
maybe
one.
An SEC team. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be Florida State. I don't even know where to start, man. Should we start in college or start in the pros?
Let's do college. Just get it.
Because college is played first, right?
Yeah, and it's been already played. Some games already.
Yeah, okay. Texas and Michigan. Obviously Texas.
Hold on. Let's talk about Utah real quick. Let's not forget Utah.
What about them?
Let's give them a little bit of respect. Let's give them their what they need and little prop.
What happened with Utah?
They won.
Who'd they beat? Did they play Thursday?
Yeah, but it's not who they beat because they beat Southern. Who was that? Indiana University or something.
Well,
like
I did pick them to win the
conference,
Big
right?
Yeah, Big 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're on your way. If they doing this thing, they doing better than Florida State. So you got one up on me right now. So.
Yeah. It's really early to talk that stuff, man.
No, but you got to go undefeated, right? That's the plan always.
Yeah.
But go. So Utah.
No, I'm just going on the news things. Do you have anything you need to add, man?
No, I mean this year college football is gonna be more exciting because of what's happening, the change of the
I didn't even send you Tennessee and NC State. NC State's like 23rd. Tennessee's like 15, 16. I think Tennessee will handle them, but you never know. They could lose that game. It'll be a good game. I'll be recording that one with the Nebraska game as well. But, yeah, let's talk Texas and Michigan. Texas.
Yeah, big game.
Here's my only concern, only one little concern about Texas, that maybe the players know what we've been saying is, okay, they've lost 18 out of 22 starters, okay? They've lost Jim Harbaugh. That's a big deal. But, Steve Sarkisian, he was on the Colin Cowherd show earlier this week, and he said, listen, they've won 8, what did he say? Let me make sure to get my notes here. 15 straight home games?
Yeah, man.
No, 18 straight home games.
They were a lot of home games straight in a row. Because
maybe it might have been 23. Let me look and see.
Some kind of record that's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, so this is in 23 straight home games. Yeah. All right. And
look at you. That's a good stat. That's a good stat. I like that,
23 home games that he's telling Colin to tell his players, let's not just roll our helmets out there and thinking we're going to win because we're not playing against Jim Harbaugh and those national championship players. If we go out there half stepping in the big house, we could get beat. Even though, because everybody, myself included, I think Michigan is going to fall off. But Sarkisian's teams have a tendency to play down to their competition. Remember, they lost to Texas Tech one year,
right?
After destroying Oklahoma a few weeks before that. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but this does have a tendency. I think this game will be close early, man.
Yeah,
it'll be closer than Texas wants it to be.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And
what's your thoughts, man?
The spread's only 7 on this game right now. So
yes,
listen, I'm not a big fan of Texas Longhorns. Y'all want to hook whatever, you ain't got me on the hook.
Yeah. Well, you're just talking as an analyst. I'm not a fan of none of these teams, but we got to be talking.
No, but I want to watch good football, and this is going to be good football for maybe 2 quarters, and then I think
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I think it's going to get sloppy after that because what's going to happen is they're going to get edgy that they're not scoring fast enough, and that would be Michigan, right?
Yes.
And then Texas is going to be like thinking that they're going to control the game, and then 1, 2, 3 throws down the field, or a run on this, a run to the defense of where they're hurting right now, the Longhorns, and that's it. That's why it's a 7 spread right now, because this literally can be, it's probably going to be like the game last night, like the Chiefs versus Ravens, 27, 27-21, something like that. So, if you're betting, I'd stay away from this game though.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch that spread.
Nah, man.
Texas may go up there and blow them out. I don't know, but
do you think?
It's not in Texas. It's in Michigan.
I know. I think that because it's in Michigan and Michigan just whooped Akron, they're going to be on the highest horse possible. So because Texas plays down, they might knock a chip off the shoulder, but they're not gonna get a knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is not going to be a 49-6. It could be, but I doubt it.
Nah, not at all.
Actually, I got it like 23-19, but
oh wow,
okay. Yeah, maybe 23-16. But I mean, I think Texas is going to win. Yeah. But I don't think.
Oh, you think Texas is going to win? At home for Michigan?
No, Texas.
No, I'm saying they're going to win with Michigan playing at home.
Yeah, Texas is going to win.
Wait, this is a
it's
game.
in Ann Arbor,
right?
Well, I would have it a bigger game if we're at Tech. Now I may be way off here, and you're right. It could be like the Georgia game. The Georgia game was 6-0 at halftime, by the way.
Yeah,
that was and that's the defense 4 down for Clemson, and Georgia just had more depth.
Texas is riding a high wave of analysts predicting for them to be in the championship series.
Yeah. Now, I did have Quinn Ewers winning a Heisman, so that maybe he needs to play well this week. I hope I'm wrong, and it's like 35-7 Texas. But, 23-19, maybe 30, something like that. Maybe they cover at the very end, but I'm just not totally convinced this is going to be like a big blowout, That's my take for this game. I don't want you using that against me.
No. I think this game.
Do you feel like Texas or Michigan's going to upset them?
I don't think there'll be an upset at all. I don't think this is an upset game at all.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Texas too?
No, I'm saying that Michigan is going to win at home, man.
Okay, Texas is favored.
I know Texas favored, but I don't think.
Okay, you calling for Michigan to win?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys.
So the upset will be for the SEC that they're going to lose this one game.
Yeah, an upset means the underdog win.
The underdog win, yeah.
Michigan's at home. They're underdogs at home.
Yeah, that's right.
They are ranked. A lot of that's from last year, but they are ranked. You're picking Michigan to win this game.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the score?
27-20 to 20.
Michigan?
28-21.
All right.
I'll take the 7, and this is because.
Well, this would really hurt Texas, man. Woo!
Yeah, I think if any team can upset them, it'll be Michigan, because their schedules. Michigan's schedule is only going to get. They still have to play Ohio.
I'm surprised you picked that. Hey, I'll take that. I like Texas 23-19. You like Michigan 27-20? All right.
28 to 21.
Okay, here I'll put that in here. All right.
I'll use a 7 on this game. It's just after seeing the way Michigan played.
I was trying to understand you. I didn't know if you wanted to pick Michigan, though.
Let me
know that you try to tongue-tie me.
I didn't know. It was my fault because I thought Texas was ranked higher than 3. I thought Michigan was ranked lower.
Yeah, but sometimes the rankings don't matter. I mean, the point spread, Notre Dame was ranked higher, but actually A&M was favored last week. Because, but this case, it's I think Michigan's actually ranked higher, but it means never mind. You pick Michigan, I pick Texas. Let's move on.
No, real quick, because I'm looking at this. Let's move on. We'll talk about it when after the game. We'll see.
We got a lot of NFL games to cover, man.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after the game.
Now, this next game, Chief, a lot of people don't say it's going to be a big game, but ratings-wise, Carlos, people are going to watch this game. Mark my word. Nebraska and Colorado, people are going to watch Deion Sanders. This is a rematch of last year.
Right.
By the way, I sent you those spreads. Nebraska's favored by about a touchdown in this game, 6.5 to 7 points. I know that they got a very talented young quarterback. His name is Dylan Raiola. Dylan Raiola looks like Patrick Mahomes, pretty confident. He's being compared, though, to Matt Stafford. He's got that arm strength, but he's only 19, man. This is his first – he's a true freshman. Now, obviously, I know some of you watching or listening later on, you're going to say, wait a minute, wasn't Trevor Lawrence a true freshman? He beat Alabama. That's true. That is true. But I do like the fact that Colorado has a veteran quarterback in his last year, and he's got an all-world receiver there. And that Colorado defensive line, if they can clean up some things, I think that they can play a heck of a lot better than the way they played the other day. They're another team that had a bunch of penalties on Thursday last week. After me and you got off they had a bunch of penalties. Now they did beat North Dakota State, but I don't know, man. All I know is I'm taking the underdog here, 34-27 here. I'm taking the Colorado, and I was going to take Nebraska until I found out that guy was a true freshman. What do you think about that game, man?
I think Deion and Colorado, they play up for night games, and they play up for televised games.
Prime time. That's the nickname.
and I feel like they'll try their best because that's what they're trying to do is get into the NFL, right? Those players, and that's part of the coaching style too. There, it's like, hey, we're not here to just win a championship. We're here to go to the next level, to get drafted. That's their main objective, is to get these kids drafted and in the top first and second round. So that's the mindset that Deion has instilled in the coaching staff. He's instilled that in his players. And it needs to reflect on the field. The play was sloppy. I'm not going to say this to say that that's what happened, but I think the fact that the game was sloppy helped Colorado more than it hindered it. In a sense,
it gives them something to coach the players about.
It not only that, but it made them refocus and try to get focus again towards the end of the game, right? So they're gonna play a Nebraska team that's supposedly up and coming, and with this kid.
Matt Rule's got him coached up.
But Matt Rule is a coach, and he does fundamental coaching. He's not coaching these kids to be first round picks. Yeah, and that's the difference. That's gonna show on the field.
You like Nebraska?
I'm sorry.
Who do you like to win, man?
I've always been a fan of Deion, and I've liked how he's coached his teams, and I think he'll get these kids to play up and play out, and I think they'll win, and I think it'll be anywhere between 7 and 10 point difference.
Okay.
I think it's going to be close too. So, what do you have this game at again?
34-27 Colorado. It was very high scoring last time.
I like the 27. I'll say like Colorado wins 32-27.
Okay. 1 point difference, or a few 2 points.
There's a few.
Okay. And so you're with me on that. I thought you was going to go Nebraska on me, but I just got to thinking about the experience of the Colorado skill players, and I think Colorado's going to win this, but who in the heck knows, man? Let's go to the pro games here. Let's see.
Oh, you don't like no other college games? That's it? We're done?
Yeah, one thing. We've got about 11 minutes. We can maybe go over a little bit.
Let's talk about NFL.
Yeah, NFL, man. I mean, There's a lot of games here, brother.
A lot of football now.
How about Tennessee, Chicago? I've been pretty steady about this. You see guys like Colin Cowherd. He's been dogging out Tennessee, and now he's kind of walking that back a little bit. Well, this is the first game, and bad teams. I'm not going to take. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude, whatever. You just USC everything. I think that Caleb Williams is going to have a problem with Tennessee's with Denard Wilson. The looks that he's going to throw at Caleb Williams with those cornerbacks. Tennessee's pretty healthy. Awuzie might not play, but they've got some good depth there actually at the secondary. They've never had that before. And I just think Tennessee with that plus the 1-year experience, and I like what I see there. Tennessee's going to go up there and beat Chicago 23-20. They're the underdog. Tennessee gets the upset on the road there against the Chicago Bears, man.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 point spread. I think you and I have talked about Tennessee for a
while,
minute,
yeah.
And I'm still on with you. I agree with you. I think that Tennessee is going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring though.
23-20. You think that's high scoring?
No, because a lot of people are thinking it's going to be 30 plus.
Well, it could, yeah.
Because Caleb Williams is
going
to come out and throw like 40 touchdowns and throw for 200 yards, whatever. I'm gonna stick around that. I like the 27 today. I'm sticking with 27.
27 what, 20?
Yeah.
Bears?
Yeah.
No. Titans over the Bears. Yeah.
Over the Bears. Yeah.
20 for the Bears.
I just think he might fumble it. They might get into a kicking spree, and just throw the number off a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I think this Miami Jacksonville game is underutilized.
Ooh.
This is going to be a pretty high scoring game.
I think so too.
Jacksonville, I talked about this past week. I always say last week. They added Eric Armstead that used to play with the 49ers on that team.
Mm-hmm.
They've also signed former Buffalo Bill Gabe Davis as a speedster. And they drafted this LSU receiver, Brian Thomas, to play on opposite of Christian Kirk. They got better on both sides of the ball, man. Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Miami, Jalen Ramsey is a little banged up in this game. But, Miami plays well down there in September, man. They're hard to beat down there, But Jacksonville's also another Florida team. So I'm leaning Jacksonville winning, man. 33-27. It's going to be a scorcher. But these offenses are going to be humming with, you got Waddle and Tyreek Hill versus Christian Kirk and maybe Brian Thomas or even Gabe Davis there, for Jacksonville. But I like Jacksonville to get the win. They're underdogs in this game. It's because it's at Miami. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think Miami's going to win this one. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think it'll be 33-27 the other way around.
33-27. I figured you'd pick the Dolphins.
And
they're a good pick. I mean, I'm really going against the grain because
the
Dolphins play great in September down there, man.
Yeah, no. The only reason I'm picking the Dolphins right now is because they got to come out on and show out, because right now they're not playing a conference team right now, so they got to come out and show out.
Divisional team, yeah.
And they need to build confidence, and they need to see what Tua can do, and they need to. Waddle has to come up, and I think there's so much riding on them to have a good season that they need this game. It's in Florida. It's in their backyard.
Yeah.
And I think that the coach wants the defense to come out and do well. So, and this is a good team. This is a good team to practice on to practice on your defense. So, especially secondary, right? You want to see what your secondary can do. This is a good team to do, because Kirk's not gonna lay off, and and they got a speedy new running back. So let's see what they can do. And I think
and he went to Tennessee. Well, they got Devon Achane.
They got Achane.
He's the second-year guy, but I think it's Wright. They used to play with the Vols. Yeah. He's like a 4-4. I mean,
they're going to be track stars out there. You
That's what
know,
I'm saying. Yeah.
it's going to be a fun game. I can't
And
wait.
you got to
That might be the best game of the week that nobody's really talking about.
Right, and the Dolphins have to prove that they can keep their team being a high-scoring offense. Because if you can't prove that you can continue that, and that's what that's gonna be your everybody always talks about making a statement.
Yeah.
If this is a game for them to do it, and if they can't do it, then the East is up for grabs, right?
Yeah,
So.
It's going to be a fun division, man. This is Tom Brady's first game that he's going to be calling. Dallas at Cleveland. Normally, I might take Dallas here, but Dallas, man, with the fact that they're rotating offensive linemen now, and plus, I'm not sure about CeeDee Lamb, man. He just signed last week. I think he's going to be he's not going to be up to par with his speed. And now the Browns got their own problems. They got banged up tackles from last year too. But this is played in Cleveland. I kind of like Cleveland to win this game 26-22, kind of an oddball kind of score there. Going to be a tight one, though. Going to be a tight one. It's in Cleveland. If in Dallas, I might go the other way, but Cleveland's not going to have a great season, in my opinion, but I think they'll win this one. What do you think about that?
Okay, does America believe in Deshaun Watson as being a true number one quarterback that can lead the team to the Super Bowl? This is the game that he's going to win and take over if he's going to have any kind of send any kind of message to his teammates, to his conference, to the NFL, stating that he got paid to be this kind of player. If you can't show up and do anything in this game, then you're pretty much just making money off of a contract, and that's it. Because you're not playing up to the contract, then people question that, right? So
what's your score, man?
I'm gonna go 27. I'm gonna stick with 27 today. 27-21.
Browns or
Browns win at home.
Browns?
Yeah.
You like Browns too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see. I'm hoping to see a Deshaun Watson of 2 seasons ago, and ready to go and just play football. I want to see that from him. I already know
really needs to show up this year.
Yeah, I already know what I'm gonna get from the Cowboys. They're not gonna make more than 21 points anyway. That's their average. They've been at that since like 1982. So I'm
not unless they're beating up on a bad Giants team.
Right,
exactly. Short on time, man. Jets, San Francisco.
San Fran. 27-14. That's my pick.
Okay, yeah. 20. Okay, now me, like I mentioned before, leading up to this game, the 49ers with those injuries, not injuries, but a recovering injury for Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
But with guys laying out like that, all count. Joey Bosa said it took him 6 games to get back up to par because he laid out last year of count. Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, both back. I like your Jets here. 23-19. Jets with the upset on Monday Night Football. Yeah. And what was your score again?
Let's say 27-14.
49ers.
Yeah, 49ers win now.
Okay.
I don't see the Jets coming up and doing. They'll score.
We'll see. I mean, maybe they could knock out, Aaron Rodgers at the beginning, and then it could be a rout. So
the spread's only 4.5 anyway. So
yeah, it was 6.
Yeah, it was 6. Yeah,
and people's coming in on the Jets are like me, like this team is going to be. They've got Super Bowl hangover written all over their helmets, man. They've got to get that. They got to change helmets. Yeah. Okay. I missed a game. Rams Lions.
I was just gonna bring that up.
This is gonna be that's Sunday Night Football.
I think that's gonna be one of the best games of the week. That's a good way to end up the week. I like the Rams over the Lions again. I think the Lions are gonna play hard. They're gonna score points. They're not gonna score more than 27 points. I think the Rams are gonna get them on it.
What's the score?
32-21.
32. Wow. I do actually have the Rams winning the West this year. I got the Rams winning it over the 49ers. But this particular game, the line's banged up. If I'm Sean McVay, I'm telling Stafford to keep his head on a swivel. Let's not get hurt in this game. You've got 16 more of these games to go. This is in Detroit. You know I'm going to pick the Lions. I got the Lions winning the Super Bowl. Going to the Super Bowl. 27-20 Lions. By the way, who's your Super Bowl pick and winner? I almost forgot to ask you.
Oh, man. I just got so many questions and I need answers, man. But I like the Ravens.
The Ravens?
Yeah, I like the Ravens.
Ravens over who?
It's probably gonna be the Rams, maybe.
Ravens over the Rams?
Yeah.
SB winner. Okay, I've got Cincinnati over Detroit. And what did I say that score was yesterday there, Captain Kangaroo? If I can find it. 27-23. Cincinnati wins the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
We shall see.
My
May go
man
the other way.
with the Burrow. That's your bro. Burrow.
You know I love Burrow, man. He's going to let me down again. I can already see it,
He signed a huge contract, and that's usually not good. That's usually not good.
Anything else you need to plug? We're a little over, but we'll be all right.
No, I mean, kids are back in school today and yesterday.
Nice.
I got a little free time. I went to the ball game on Tuesday with my son. We watched the Mets. They came up on Boston. Boston's okay. They're playing Cincinnati tonight. Baseball's not over with yet, and I think they're going to be at the back end of this. They're going to be in a playoff run, so I think New York teams are going to be all right this year. Getting into the playoffs, is that what I want? Yes. Do I want more? Of course. But, we shall see. We shall see.
All right.
For me.
Bad New Yorker, hopefully see you back next Friday, my friend, if everything's cool with school.
Yeah. All
right, brother.
Fridays.
We're getting back to normal here. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you. I'll see you on Monday, actually. Here
Enjoy your sports.
Real Sports.